Good day, my loves. Good day to you. This is Spiritually Savage here, and I am talking to you. I hope you are feeling well. I send you peace of mind, unconditional love of yourself, and knowledge and a knowing that there is a greater power than us. And so, I just came here to see if there's anyone out there that feels like I feel. Truthfully, really. On this journey, I know that isolation is a gift from God. It really is. In the beginning of my journey, I know I didn't feel that way. Not at all. It kind of felt like jail. It felt like a punishment. It felt like I had been set in timeout, which I have been. But I looked at it as if it was a negative connotation because it felt bad. I felt like I was being punished. But I have grown to understand, and understand that it's not a punishment. Definitely a timeout. But when you look at why we put children in timeout, it's not actually to punish them. It's actually to get them to see and to think about their actions and for them to self-correct, right? And so that's how I kind of look at this. Me sitting down for like almost 3 years as a gift for me to think about what I want to do, where I want to go, how I want to live, what I want it to look like, feel like, That's what it takes when you're trying to change the trajectory of your life, when you're trying to elevate, when you're trying to ascend, when you are trying to learn and reparent on how to unconditionally love yourself. It's probably going to be one of the most difficult things you will ever have to do in your life. Which leads me here at this point because I've been listening to a lot of conscious music, a lot of reggae. Where my reggae fans at? Big up. A lot of Afro beats, a lot of salsa, a lot of French music. And I know in my other video, I shared the good part of this journey, which is getting to know yourself and how much fun it is, and that is all true. However, today the video is about the other side, the uncertainty, the confidence building, the restructuring of who you were and who you are currently to equal who you want to be. And if you're anything like me, then you're having to reparent a lot of yourself. And that leads me to be like, okay, well, who am I? It leads to you questioning who you are. It really does. It's like, okay, I am at the point in my journey where God is asking me to relinquish, to let go a lot of who I thought I was. And it's no secret that I've struggled with my eating and with smoking. And so I watched a video today. Well, I watched a couple of videos, and one talked about the effects of your brain when you're not smoking. And I definitely want that. I want my original brain. I want my brain. I want my brain not on drugs. I do. Remember, I've had 30 years prior to me smoking. So I have a barometer. I have a gauge. I have a starting point for myself. And I want that back, but I don't want who I was back then, if you get what I'm saying. So I definitely want to stop smoking. And I am going to stop smoking. Why I'm going through this, I have no clue. I've never had a quote drug, problem. And I watched this video. Well, I was watching a movie, and in the movie, it's this two potheads, and they smoke morning, noon, and night, pretty much. And there was a girl in there, and she just lost her husband. She was a young wife, married to an older guy. And he asked her if she wanted to smoke, and she said no. I like to stay away from things that make me not feel. And it just struck me like, wow, okay. So we know anytime that anybody abuse anything, whatever it is, their bodies in sexual ways, financial, shopping habits, whatever it may be, it's tied to something. And so it's like three things have come to my awareness that gotta stem from some place where I have yet to reach. And maybe it was just waiting. I don't know, I guess. Maybe I was just waiting. Because even though I externalize some things, please enter over and understand that I am talking about myself. You are talking about yourself. What you need is within you. And that is what I'm grappling with right now. That is what I am struggling with right now. That is what I am having a problem with right now, okay? Which leads me to almost an identity crisis, because I am not who I once was, but yet I am exuding behaviors that say that I am still that person, right? And so this whole time I'm like waiting for God to be like, okay, well, here's where the original, trauma happened. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, okay, well, if I have that information, then I'll be able to tackle this from all angles and blah, 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 blah. When the truth is, I have what I need already inside of me. I just have yet to tap into it. And so it is actually March what? It is March the 25th, and it's 12:17 in the AM. And I'm not having an identity crisis, so to speak, because I see clearly who I am and who I want to be and the things I want to be included in my life. And smoking is not one of them. And I keep trying to bargain, make deals with the devil, with the negative side, with the part of my life that has been dying in order to be reborn. It's been trying to die. And along with that life And with that being comes some people, some habits, some places, and some things. The things were easy to a certain extent. The people, not so much. And I know me not wanting to feel has a lot to do with me having to let go emotionally the people I love. And it's not letting go, it's letting go with love though. It's not letting go out of malice. It's not letting go because I'm mad or angry like how it was when I just packed up and left because I was mad and angry. It's not that. It's letting go and trusting God. It's like every time I try and step in or intervene, it's like I'm saying I know better than God, and I really don't. I just don't. And so how do I apply that to my life? I'm holding on to a bad habit that I have spoken so many times about. But yet, and I can tell you and rationalize all the reasons why it's not good for me. And scientifically, the benefits I will gain when I stop. But physically, it's like when I don't have it, it's not like I'm going crazy or anything. It's just like, okay, I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel what I'm feeling, whether that means within my body, whether that means thinking the thoughts that I'm thinking in my head, whether that means whatever. I don't want to feel it, which is not going to get me to where I want to be in life. It really isn't. I've been talking, and I do live in my heart space. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I live in my heart space. However, there was a certain point in time in my life where I closed a part of it off, and what God is asking me is for me to come back so I can retrieve that peace. I need to retrieve my peace of heart back. God is saying I'm ready, but I'm saying I'm not ready. And who knows best? I don't know best. Look, listen, I thought I knew best, and look where it got me. I mean, blessings, it got me here, but look what it took to get me here. And so this is the internal struggle that I have been struggling with, most likely from all 300 videos or so. And I'm just now getting to this part. I'm just now getting to this part, and it's almost 3 years in. Well, my whole life. My whole life. My whole life with the eating part, pretty much. And then the smoking, which I exchange one habit for another. Just know that much, because I was one that was big on retail therapy. I was big on it. I was huge on it. Yeah, it was my money. So, and I don't mean retail therapy just in shopping. I mean like traveling. And whatever I desired, I did it. Extracurricular activities like tennis and skiing, I did it. And there's so much more that I want to do, and I know I want to do it of sober mind because I am a different person now. So it's like I'm scared of myself. And I don't even know what I'm scared of, y'all. I really don't. What I'm scared of. What am I scared of? Because that's basically what it boils down to. If I know and I feel the difference, and I say I trust God, Why is it so hard for me to stop smoking and emotionally eating? Because that's what I do. I emotionally eat. Well, so I bring it to you guys. Normally what I do is I'll just talk myself through it. Like, okay, well, what don't you want to feel? And it's obvious what I don't want to feel. But the hard part is over, because once you know the truth, that's the hard part. Finding out the truth and accepting the truth is the hard part. So there's nothing that I can think of other than me being scared of who I'm gonna be. So I'm scared of who I want to be. I'm scared of success. But why would that be? And this is the question that I would ask myself, because I can go back to 30 and below, and at the time, what I considered to be success, of course, was in the material realm, was earthly things. And by the time I was 25, I considered myself to be successful, not as successful as I planned on being, but I was successful. I had hit every goal I wanted to do. I bought my first house at 25. I had gone to college and graduated. But there was always still something missing. There was always still something missing. But I can honestly say that I am scared. But of what I don't know. Am I scared to leave my family behind? And then I'll say, well, that's not the case, because you already know that you've been on your own this entire time. It just took for you to fall down and for them not to try and help pick you back up, for you to understand how you've been doing it by yourself, quote unquote, because we're never doing it by ourselves, right? We are, but we're not. So it's like, it's so annoying to me right now. And this is a moment where I like really have to give myself some like self-love and some compassion, because I know I am the one standing in my own way, but I don't know for the life of me. And I'm hoping not to my detriment of what it is at this moment. Like, I keep thinking smoking is going to be the end all that be all. But what if it's not? I don't know if I could take that. Like, what if it's not? So I'm on this journey, and I'm 10 toes down. But I tell you, it's definitely time for a change, though. It's me against me. It's like nobody else. It's me against me. But I'm like, okay, I keep asking for the root of the trauma, the root of the trauma, the root of the trauma. I wasn't born with this, you know? And even if there are traits, and people can argue your DNA makes you prone to blah, 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 great, I get that. However, I have 30 years plus that can refute a lot of that. However, I've stopped smoking for 2 months before. However, it was based upon, anyhow, So, what am I scared of? I don't know. What are you scared of? Do you know? I didn't know I was even going to get on here and say I was scared of anything. I don't feel like I've ever been scared a day in my life, but I'm having to put my words, even the ones that I speak to you guys, into action. Do I know I can do it? Absolutely. Do I feel I can do it? Most definitely. Do I want to do it? Yes, emphatically. Why do I want to do it? Because the alternative was hell. So really, it's like I have a choice because there's always free will, but I really don't have a choice because my choice is hell. Why would I willingly want to live in hell? Why would I willingly want to live where people don't support you and don't show you love and purposely misunderstand you and conveniently forget the wrongs that they've done to you? Like, that's hell. That's literal hell. That's hell to me. I've been living in hell for feeling 20 years. You couldn't tell me that my life was hell. You couldn't tell me that my childhood was hell or anything like that because I loved it. Struggle, it didn't look like struggle to me. It didn't feel like struggle to me. But when I look back on it, I can definitely see it. Yes, I see it. I have a whole completely different perspective on my childhood now. But up until I heard what my mom said, my world was just, you know what? Yeah, you may have struggled, but that didn't define you. And it never sank into me that it was like deliberate or anything like that. It was like, okay, this is what it was. But now it's like I am stopping my own self, and I'm like, why? I don't know. And right now, I'm not feeling like it's okay not to know. I'm feeling like I'm up against a time clock. But I don't know if it's my time clock or if it's a illusion. I don't know. But I know I don't want to be in hell anymore. So today I'm going to open up the door and I'm going to walk right on in. I'm not even going to speak on what it's going to take or how I'm going to do it because I don't know. Something occurred today that shifted. I really do hope you guys are well. It's okay not to feel okay too. And I guess that's why I felt compelled to share it. It's okay. I don't like it, and it's okay not to like it, and that's what I'm learning. That it's not bad, it's not a sin, it's not blasphemy when you don't like a particular feeling or a situation. It's okay not to like it. What's not okay is to sit and wallow in it. But know that, and we've all heard this. I mean, we all heard the say no to drugs slogan. We know that drugs cause you to feel a fake euphoria, a fake feeling of pleasure, but what it actually is, it's dulling our own senses and causing us not to feel. And let's just be honest. I mean, some of us have gone through so much that if we didn't, the feeling alone, people do die of a broken heart. Let me just let you know that is a real thing. You can look it up and Google it. And I've never Googled it and looked it up, but I can tell you from experience that it is a real possibility. You can die from a broken heart. You can literally die from a broken heart. And that's essentially what gaslighting is, especially if it's being done by the people closest to you, by your inner circle. They're really trying to kill you with a broken heart. They're really trying to kill you by making you feel and think that you're going crazy, and you're not going crazy. They actually did do those things. They actually did say those things. Even when they denied. I remember having a conversation with my stepfather and him trying to deny. And I was like, yo, dude. And he said, oh, I'm a dude right now. And I was like, yeah, because what I'm thinking right now is not respectful. And I was mad. I refused to allow that. I really did, y'all. I really did. I mean, he was trying his hardest. My mama even walked in and was like, you might as well just admit it and just be honest, because she's not going to let it go. And she said that on a walkthrough, walking outside, from outside, and walked directly in her room. That was so hilarious to me. Even in the moment, I didn't laugh then, but I peeped it, and part of me was cracking up. Was like, this lady is crazy. And when I think back on it now, it just makes me laugh. But you're gonna have to fight for your sanity, and that's gonna be a tough part. I'm tired. I read something. No, somebody said something. You're not actually tired. You are frustrated. So I guess that's what I am. Not actually tired, just frustrated. And I'm frustrated with the process. I'm frustrated with where I'm at. I'm trying not to be frustrated with myself. I don't know if I'm succeeding today with it, though. I'd have to say no, I'm not succeeding at this moment, though, because my body is in pain. And I know why my body is in pain. It's because I've been engaging and interacting with negative energy. So it's time I jump back on full throttle, and I really don't know how I'm gonna do it. I really don't, because I am. Funny thing is, I know it's that kind of tired that if my situation was to change tomorrow, I'd have so much energy. So I know it's a mental thing, and I know it's an emotional thing. And so I'm just trying to work it out, my loves. That is all. It's like I I want and need to know the root of those three things, because it will help me understand me more and help me understand what I can do or what I need to do on a mental, physically, emotional, and spiritual level to align myself and not try and shut my emotions down. Yo, it hurt like hell when your feelings and your heart been broken. And I just vow that just won't never happen again. I just won't allow it. I just won't allow it. Like, I remember how I was at 15 and 16 when my mama said I was too hard on boys. But now I was just right. And that's the energy that I'm exuding. Like, I just don't have time for it. Y'all tell me something. Okay, story time. Tell me if this is so I'm gonna say this is part 2. Okay, so even if I break this video up or if it breaks up, because I think it's gonna break up, I'm not quite sure. But I went to the grocery store. I'm gonna speak real fast too. I went to the grocery store and I was walking out of the grocery store, and he was very young, I can tell you that much. And this was before I googled his name. After he irritated me, and before I respond, and after I responded, I googled him to see who he was, and he's very young. I'ma say he's in his 20s. I know he ain't even in his 30s yet. Yeah, he's in his 20s. And so I'm walking out the grocery store, and he was like, "Hey, excuse me, do you work out?" Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Well, yeah, blah 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 blah. You know, I used to work out at this gym, blah 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 blah. But right now, I just, I work out at home." And he says, "Oh, okay, blah." Something he said. Then he goes, "If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?" And I said, "I'm in my 40s." He said, "Oh, really?" He said, "I would never guess that." He said, "I thought you was in your 20s." He said, "That's the only reason why I talked to you." And I was like, I was cracking up in my head, and I chuckled out loud because I get it. But then the rest of it didn't make any sense though. So, this is us. Oh, I had asked for $1, y'all. That's where it started. Cause I was in the grocery store. I was trying to get this onion. It was like me, this dude, a white dude, and some other dude. And I asked the attendant, because normally, they got a little change jar up